Hello, everybody. This is episode number 16 of the Spirit Ninjas
podcast.
What? Yeah. It's awesome.
In this episode, we're going to talk all about goal setting. We've got a 6 easy step-by-step process to help you with your goal setting and using a law of attraction to accomplish all of your desires and goals.
It's super tight, so you should probably listen after the little jingle.
Stay tuned.
Hey, you just turned into the Spirit Ninjas Spiritual as F podcast. The show that aims to inspire, uplift, and questions everything. And now your hosts, Bart Rigel and Holly Emerson.
All right, so today we are talking all about goal setting and how to use the law of attraction in accomplishing the life or things, goals that you desire.
Yeah, like what the fuck do you want?
Yeah, we've come up with a really simple step-by-step process that we're going to share with you.
It's exciting.
Exactly. So at the time of this recording, it is moving into New Year's, but this is something that you can do obviously at any time of the year. So the reason we're doing it now is because it just seems timely. And
this is a process that we're going to go through.
Yeah, it's a process that we do on a regular basis. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat process. So it's a process that you can use to set your goals, tweak your goals, realign your goals, and just keep following the steps over and over again to create whatever it is that you are striving towards.
It's pretty awesome. I guess it was like last year, but so before we moved to Spain, before we like sold our condo and all of our stuff, Holly and I made this nice long list of things.
Like 50 things.
Yeah, it was like 50 things that we wanted to do in the next like year, and we accomplished like 86% of those things or something.
I think it might have even been higher. I think it was something like 50 odd things that we put on the list, and we were doing 40 some of them.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. Like when you actually write down your goals, like shit happens.
Yeah, I think there's just in the action of writing them down, you're stating them to the universe. And I think it's important.
So that brings us to step number 1. Darling.
Step number
what
1
do you think?
Is basically what we're talking about: intention setting, goal setting, writing them down and understanding ultimately why. I think the why is the most important part of the goal setting. You know, what is the desire that you want to feel?
Oh, yeah.
You know, what is it that you're striving for?
Such an important piece. You know, if your why isn't strong enough, well, good luck. It's going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah, it is. It is. So becoming really present to the why, I think, is ultimately the most important.
Yeah. And I mean, it could be literally anything. Like, let's say you want to manifest a freaking Lexus. Well, why do you want the Lexus? You know, you really got to get to the core belief of what that's actually going to give you, right? Because, I mean, there's a lot of like shallow goals that a lot of us pursue.
Yeah.
And the why isn't really that strong. And then we like don't get
well,
there.
Let's take this Lexus example. So what is it that you want to feel? You know, maybe it's not even about the Lexus. Maybe it's about your desire to feel free, your desire to feel independent, your desire to feel successful. What does that Lexus actually represent? What is the emotion? Because typically when we are goal setting or when we are striving for something, it's actually a feeling, a key feeling that we want to feel more of in our life. So what is it? It's actually not about the physical thing that you want to manifest, but it's about something inside.
That Lexus would make me feel better about myself because Tom has a Lexus.
So it's the feeling of being more worthy.
Better than someone else. That's something that we need to be careful of.
Bart's totally kidding now.
I'm joking. I don't even know Tom. But if I did, you know, it's something that we really need to be careful of because a lot of our goals that we set are for the wrong reasons. You know, like, do you want the Lexus for, you know, some other deeper feeling like being free? You know, maybe you really enjoy, you know, driving down the road really fast, you know, with your hair blowing in the wind. if you have hair.
But I think you bring up a good point when you say, you know, like, because quote unquote Tom has one, or you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know, I think it's really important to identify, is this goal authentically yours because you it will make your life better, or is it because you want to show off or keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah, and I mean,
You know,
ultimately, you know, what is it that you're looking to feel? Because if, let's say, you're not actually asking those deeper why questions and you get that Lexus and all of a sudden you're in a whole shitload of debt and you're having to pay those monthly payments, and then
you're still not feeling what it is that you actually wanted to feel.
And then it becomes very dangerous. And your entire year is fucked because here you are making these giant Lexus payments and you don't even like the Lexus anymore.
Yeah, the Lexus wasn't actually truly what you were desiring. So that's why step 1 is really important. Getting clear on why. What is the desire?
And writing it down. Write it down and then really take the time to understand the deeper why. And always, almost, I think pretty much like every time, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It is a feeling.
It's a feeling. Like when I think about our list of things that we made a year and a half ago, I mean, those things were like starting a podcast, starting a business, all these, they were kind of like tangible things like that, but they all were tied to the feeling of freedom for me, the feeling of really serving others and fulfilling my life mission. So as much as it was just like a thing, it was actually a feeling, like how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to show up in this world in a new way that was really rooted in my soul's purpose here. So I think that's why most of those things came true for both of us.
Absolutely. And in a way that you can do that in order to get kind of deeper, it's like, okay, well, write down what you want. I want a Lexus. Why? You know, it's like that famous, like the terrible twos.
Yeah. And it's like, imagine yourself driving that Lexus. What is it that you want to feel when you're driving the Lexus?
Yeah. Well, let's back it up here 5 seconds. So you ask, okay, why? Okay, well, I want a nicer car. Okay, well, why? Right. And just keep asking why. It's okay, well, I want the nicer car because mine's falling apart. Okay. Well, you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And almost always it ends up being a feeling of some kind.
Yeah. Like I was talking to my dad. My dad loves riding motorcycles. And I asked him, like, what is it about riding a motorcycle that you love so much? And for him, it's freedom. Like he was able to identify that right away. And if you can't identify it, like Bart said, keep asking yourself why.
Totally. Like, why is your car falling apart? I don't know. Maybe you didn't take care of it. Maybe it is time to get a new car. But why do you want the Lexus? Well, it's better than Tom's. Tom has a shitty old model. Maybe. I don't know. So that's number 1. Good times.
Number 1. Another thing too, if you're not really into writing things down, sometimes a vision board. Some people are super into that. So you can always do a little DIY vision board.
I like
thing
those
going on. So that's essentially step 1. Step 2 is there anything that you need to let go of in order to accomplish your goal or get that Lexus or whatever it is that you desire? Because oftentimes there are things in our life that are standing in our way, but we actually don't want to let go of them. So it's really identifying what it is that you need to say no to in order to say yes to accomplishing what it is that you desire.
Like your shitty downer friends. I'm just kidding.
Bart is on fire today.
Well, okay, in many cases that exists. You know, we attract people that are like us and we end up becoming just like them.
It is true.
Sometimes we have to let go of even our friends.
Yes, that is true. Sometimes there are people in our lives that...
They're energetic vampires.
Yeah, there are such things as
and
energetic.
Emotional.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
They just suck the life right out of you.
Yeah, and sometimes there's people who just crush your dreams.
Absolutely.
You know, so sometimes it is a very valid thing. Like as you move forward, like for example, like say you want to lose weight and you want to have a healthier lifestyle because you want to feel energy in your life and you want to feel good, but you are surrounded with people who just want to eat junk food and go to the movies. You know, you have to ask yourself, is hanging around with these people supporting me in my goals? And it's not saying that you have to completely get rid of your friends, but maybe you just spend less amount of time with them and you find healthier friends that align with the goals that you also have.
Yeah, totally. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, right? And that comes down to your ultimate why, right? If your why is strong enough, then you can accomplish anything. You can literally move mountains if that's what you truly deeply desire, right? But many times it's what's stopping us? Well, maybe it's drinking, maybe it's smoking, maybe it's we have to let go of a job that we've known forever, stepping into the unknown. The things that we say we want, we have to be willing to change and grow.
Exactly. It's like willing to let go of that. And it can also be willing to let go of your you caring what people think of you. Like say it is changing your career. You've built your entire life going after one thing, and you've built this identity, and maybe you want to pursue something completely different. And so it's about being willing to let go of what other people think of you, willing to let go of that identity that you built up. So you do have to be really willing to say no to maybe an old pattern.
Yeah, embrace change. Step into the new you. And if your why is strong enough, then absolutely you will definitely be able to accomplish it. But keep digging your why, your deeper why.
But this like step 2 is really important because I think a lot of people set out goals for themselves, but then when push comes to shove, they're not willing to say no to what they've previously said yes to. So that's why we bring it up. It's just you got to make sure you're committed.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Number 3.
And we say this all the time. Bart, what is it?
It's meditation.
Yes, meditation.
Yeah. And why do we want to meditate, Holly?
To get grounded and get rooted and also receive guidance.
Yeah. I do this all the time. And it really helps you flesh out like the real reasons behind why you want something. And you'll receive guidance. Like if it's in true alignment with what it is that you deeply want, then you will receive guidance on a daily basis. But, creating that little space for yourself once a day, twice a day, whatever it is, even for 30 seconds, we talk about this all the time, but it's such a fundamental, important piece. Anything that you want to set out and accomplish, it begins inside you and in meditation. When you create that space, something else opens up. You do receive guidance from your higher power, your higher self, from the universe, whatever it is you want to call it. It doesn't matter. But the trick really is meditation. And for me, that was the catalyst that really changed my entire life.
Yeah. And the other thing too to point out with meditation, especially specifically around goal setting, is they can be visualizations. So you can meditate on what it would be like to feel healthier, more energized, or feel like you're driving that Lexus and feeling that freedom or whatever it is. So it's not, there's so many different types of meditation that you can do. And specifically around goal setting, I think the visualization has helped me in the past.
Yeah. That's how I started meditating was with visualization. So I would download like guided meditations just on YouTube, or there's a really great meditation app that we've been using called Meditable. So that's available on the App Store. And it's
iTunes App Store, yeah.
It's fantastic. You're able to customize the intention and the meditation that you want. You set a length of time, and then it guides you through the meditation. So
yeah, they actually have some goal setting meditations already in their library too. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. So if you're new to meditation, if you've been meditating a while, you want to try something new, Meditable is an option. Is certainly a great option.
Option.
It's an option, not an option.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Number 4.
Number 4. So what is the inspired action that you have to take? Because, I mean, it's all well and good to state what your goal is, what it is you want to feel, understand the why, connect with yourself, get rooted. But you also have to take an action. Like there has to be some sort of outwardly action. And now this should, I always hate the word should, but I think it should come with that something that's rooted in inspiration.
Yeah, it's something that you need to think about. You can use the law of attraction, and you can think and dream till they come and take your couch away. You have to actually do something. There has to be some kind of inspired action behind it, right? Like nothing in this physical reality that we find ourselves in comes without action.
It should be a joyful action too.
Yeah, of course. Like if you don't like doing whatever it takes to actually get there, well, then change your goal.
Yeah,
or change your why.
Exactly.
Because, who is it? Oh, Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, the dude he's awesome. He says some, very interesting things, but my God, like he just talks about grinding it out and hustling so hard on every single occasion. Like that, it's got to be so tiring.
Well, I think for him, he loves the hustle. So if you love the hustle, then hustle till your heart is like full.
Yeah.
But if it's not, then that's okay too.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's say you want that Lexus, but what it's going to take you to get that Lexus is going to suck. You're going to have to put in 80 more hours of overtime a week. You're going to have to, put your kids on a starvation diet. Whatever it is that's going to take to get you there.
I don't think you should starve your kids, by the way.
No, you shouldn't. That's what I was getting at. It's like, don't starve your kids, right? So if the actions are inspired and it's something that you love doing, definitely it's going to be that much easier to get there. So, crafting out the actions from that inspired, rooted place will help you achieve your goals. But if it's just a straight hustle, my God, good luck. Good luck to you.
I mean, goals should be something that you love. Like getting you towards a place that you love. Like if your goal is something where you think you have to accomplish this thing, X task or X goal, I would maybe suggest picking a different goal.
And something that we need to think about too is that these goals are a journey in themselves. So you have to love and enjoy the journey as much as the end goal, right? Because if your goal is the Lexus, but the journey to get there sucks, like I was saying, like just don't do that. Or, either pick a different goal or pick a different path, right? So having those two things in alignment is so fucking important. Good God.
It is. So step number 5 is
practice the small wins.
Yes, I'm a big fan of celebrating all the time because I just love being joyful. And so for me, celebrating and being excited throughout my day and happy and in that state of gratitude, because ultimately practicing and celebrating the small wins is practicing gratitude. So I'm like a huge advocate for it. So
yeah, it builds momentum, right? When
does,
you start
yeah.
seeing those small wins, right? So you set yourself up for success. So for instance, I love my Apple Watch. I love it. Okay. And then there's this feature on there that lets you track your activity. And there's a number of goals. There's like a stand goal, there's a activity goal for like moving calories, and then there's an exercise goal. So you close these rings. For anybody that doesn't have an Apple Watch, you try to close these rings on a daily basis. Well, you can set your move goal, like your calorie goal, and you can make it, 10,000 calories. But for me, I found that when I start small, when I start at like a reasonable 300 calories a day, and I actually hit them for the week and I get my little reward at the end of the week, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then next week, I bump up the goal just ever so slightly and I make it a little bit harder. But it's still reasonable enough that I can hit it. And then I hit it that week. And then I'm celebrating at the end of the week with my new award. I was like, yes, fucking did it. And then fast forward like 6-7 weeks later, and I'm still hitting it on like every single day. And I've now completed the streak. And all of a sudden, I don't want to screw up my streak. And And my calorie goal, I've been increasing every single week. So now all of a sudden it's like 600 calories a week. And the momentum just keeps building. But so I screwed up my streak like a few weeks ago. and it's just been like a fucking like nosedive off a cliff. And I haven't changed my move goal. So it's still set at that like high amount. And for me to achieve that, it's just like, oh God, it sucks. So this week I'm going to move it lower again, and then start with those small wins, start getting in that habit, start celebrating those small wins. And then soon enough, I'm going to be crushing it.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
On like a really long streak.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm all about the streaks.
So yes, celebrate the small wins. Extremely important, because like Bart said a few moments ago, the journey is more important, or just as important, as accomplishing the goal itself. So make sure you're enjoying the process.
Yeah. And as far as like the law of attraction is concerned, you know, the energy that you resonate on a daily basis, that's what you're attracting into your life. So when you're celebrating those little wins with the little gratitude, or, you know, the pats on the back, those things are being attracted to you, and you'll be given more opportunities to celebrate and be grateful for, and that bring joy into your life. So, you know, the process and the journey, it starts small, but then if you're rooting yourself in that energy on a frequent basis, then life just becomes so much easier. Exactly.
What happens when you're celebrating that is you're actually embodying that energy. And so what you focus on expands. And so, like Bart said, as you celebrate all those little wins, you're practicing gratitude, and you will accomplish your goal that much faster. You will enjoy the process, and you will actually attract what it is your end result is to you that much faster.
And we're talking about synchronistic events. So things that are outside of your control. Some things that are in your control, of course, but you'll notice that the universe just starts bringing you opportunities for achieving your goal faster. So all of a sudden, you know, maybe you might get a promotion at work, or maybe you'll be given another opportunity to, you know, work with someone else, or maybe it could be a check in the mail. I mean, sometimes people get these things, right? Like, you never know. Maybe it's an inheritance. Maybe it's, I don't know, you win a potluck freaking 50-50 draw at work, like whatever the hell it is, right? But it's like those little synchronistic things that you don't know where the hell they're going to come from. But if you're rooting yourself in that energy, you will be attracting them more and more frequently. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And so step 6 is essentially just tweaking, realigning, going back to the drawing board if you have to. And if you don't, just keep on keeping on. But the thing is things change. And as you're going through this process, you might realize you want to adjust your sails a little bit, so to speak. And that's totally okay. And so this process is something that you can do over and over again from step 1 to step 6, and just realign if you need to.
Yeah. The thing is that life sometimes is outside of our control, right? Like the universe has a plan for our awakening. And sometimes, you know, that Lexus isn't in the cards this year. Maybe it's in the cards in 2 years from now, right? Whatever the thing is, we have to take the time to realign, right? If it's not reasonable, if it's not feasible, whatever it is. I mean, don't, shoot for the stars. Worst case scenario, land on the moon. Or what is that saying?
Yeah,
Something like that. But, you know, you want to set your goals high within some reason, right? Like,
but they also have to be attainable.
Absolutely. So that way you can still keep, you know, celebrating those small wins and get in that energy and all those things that we've talked about. But sometimes things are out of our control. Sometimes the universe, for our greater good, for a greater awakening, has a slightly different plan, right? And because of our narrow focus, our narrow vision, just being in our little meat suits here, that it's sometimes hard. Like, we can't see past certain things, right? And that's something that we need to refocus. Like, when those events happen, when life throws us curveballs, whatever, it's not about, you know, getting angry, pissed off, and just saying fuck it to the whole thing. No, it's about refocusing, you know, staying in that place of gratitude, allowing things to unfold, you know, gracefully, and, still keeping our sights set on the prize, because we still have to have somewhat of a direction of where we want to end up. But, the path that it takes to get there sometimes, is a little windy, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's trusting in the process, trusting in the universe and spirit and God, whatever resonates with you, but trusting that they are, or he is, or she is, or it is working in your divine favor, in your highest good. And oftentimes we can't see what that is, but just allowing that trust and faith that everything will work itself out.
Yeah. Like when Holly and I made the list of 50 odd things that we wanted to accomplish, that was before we, moved to Spain, before we did any of that stuff.
Before we even knew that we were going to sell our place.
We had no idea we were going to end up in freaking Spain. Like that was so outside of our realm of possibilities. And yet here we are, right?
Yeah.
But we were open enough that when those opportunities came up, it's like, all right, well, let's follow the breadcrumbs, right? We still wanted to start a business. We still wanted to uplift people. We still wanted to, create what we've been creating here. Like that was the deeper why. I mean, the how changed because we had no idea. We had no idea how it was all going to unfold, but we were able to trust that process. So follow those breadcrumbs. And the best part is that if you're in alignment and you're doing your exercises, like your meditations or whatever, then life usually unfolds with even more joy. So you thought you wanted one thing, you got something else, but it was like 10 times better.
Way better. Yeah.
So, be open to those changes and the differences in path when they come up, because, there could be some freaking gold on the other side there that if you were unable to or unwilling to make that change, well, you would have missed out on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing that we wanted to mention, which is one of the most important parts to this process, is being kind to yourself through the journey. Don't beat yourself up if you said you're going to do something and you didn't. Just be kind. This is something that is supposed to be fun. That's something that's supposed to be joyful, and allow that for yourself in this experience. I think it's so important. One thing that I've noticed with myself in the past is when I've set a goal or a target or something like that, and I say I'm going to take certain actions, and by whatever means I don't take that action, then I feel guilty. And that actually is not helpful. So it's really important to notice, when it is that you're feeling that guilty and just letting it go.
It's that
just
sly, tricky little ego, little fucker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like giving yourself permission to make mistakes too. It's giving yourself permission to, reset and start over. I think it's totally fine. Like if you say you're trying to eat healthier, this is like something that I struggled with for a long time. When I was like trying to eat healthy and going to the gym and stuff, and then, next thing I knew I was eating a pizza.
Pizza.
I would feel guilty about it. And you know what? It was fine. You just be kind to yourself. Don't do it again. And just pick up and carry on. And just, it's okay to feel guilty in the moment, but don't wallow in it, because at the end of the day, that's just going to drain your energy and make it harder for you to accomplish your goals. So feel guilty and then stop.
I struggle with that quite a bit, because I would set these like silly goals. Like I would have this like long list of things that I needed to do on a daily basis. I need to, do a meditation. I need to get up at a certain time. I need to hustle for, 16 hours a day. I need to go to the gym. I need to eat healthy. Like the list was insane. And then every day I would fail at least half of those things. And then I would go to sleep and just like drained and just everything sucks. And, just I failed at everything. I failed at life. I'm a shitty human. Like, there's just this self-wallowing that I would have to go through on a daily basis, because I set these insane goals. And, it's just, some people can grind it out and they can put in 24 hours a day and never sleep. And that's totally cool. Like, good on them. For most of us, you got to be a little bit more gentle. Set slightly more realistic goals. Just follow the process, allow the unfolding. And when things change, when we fall off the path, whatever, that's fine. Like just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get back on the horse and get going again, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Something that actually I really like doing. So another thing that I do, I track on my watch different habit streaks. So, like I want to drink 2 liters of water a day, right? Or, I try to post an article or something on Facebook every day, right? So I have like these little things that I track. But instead of looking at the streaks and like forcing myself to do them on a daily basis, what I've been looking at is like a percentage. It's like, okay, well, I want to hit like 60% of the days, right? So at the end of the week, I can check my watch and say, okay, well, I didn't post on Tuesday, but I posted on Wednesday and Thursday. Good enough. Perfect, right? I don't have to be perfect every single day. As long as I'm heading in that direction and it's like a general percentage, it's like more than half or whatever, maybe that's a good way of setting your goals, right?
Yeah,
it's
is.
not like a hard and fast, I'm going to do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck it. Allow yourself some flexibility. Build that flexibility into whatever it is that you're looking at doing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good tip. And also remember, every moment is a new moment. So you can choose something new. Every day is a new day. You can make a new choice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So just be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to have grace in this process.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Cool, guys. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much all we got here today.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's pretty straightforward. Was that straightforward?
I hope so. I hope so. But
I hope so.
make it a specific process. So go through the episode again, write down those 6 steps, right? So we've got, setting goals or intention setting. Number 2 is writing down the things that you're willing or anything that you need to let go of, right? And understanding your why.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Number 3 is meditation, getting grounded.
Having some kind of practice for that.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 is what is the action or actions that you have to take on whether it's a daily or weekly basis, your choice, that will get you towards your goal.
Yeah, and let's clarify that. That's inspired action.
Yes,
so that should come
inspired action.
from step number 3 from that meditation practice.
And it should be something that brings you joy when you're doing
Big
it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, practice the small wins.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one.
Enjoy the journey. And number 6 is tweak and realign if you need to. And then at the top of that list, write be kind and have grace and joy through the process because that's most important.
Boom.
Yeah.
And mic drop.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks so much, folks. Please leave us a review. If you enjoyed this episode or if there's anything that you would like us to do different, better, leave us a review, an honest review, please.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a huge help.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Thanks, guys, for listening and hope you have a fabulous day and enjoy your goal setting process.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Spirit Ninjas Spiritual as Fuck podcast. Make sure to tune in next time for more deep conversations to uplift, inspire, and blow your mind. Spiritual as fuck.